Welcome back to our deep dive. Today, we're getting into a book that's been a real game changer for loads of people, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Hmm.
What makes it stick, I think, isn't just the advice, but the way it's told. This story of two dads.
Yeah, the rich dad and the poor dad.
Exactly. And that contrast, it just feels so, well, relatable, right? You might see bits of your own life or how you grew up in there. It really pulls you in from the start.
It absolutely does. And what's powerful is how fast that contrast makes you look at your own ideas about money.
Totally.
The book just lays it out immediately how differently each dad thinks about, financial security, getting wealthy. One's all about the stable job, saving carefully,
The traditional path.
right? And the other, he's focused on making money work for him. That split right at the beginning, it really sets you up for a big shift in thinking.
Yeah, that shift. And for so many people, it leads to that big aha moment. We heard from one listener who put it perfectly. The idea that the rich don't work for money, they make money work for them. It sounds so simple, almost.
Yeah.
Too simple.
It does sound simple, but that's sort of the genius of it.
Right. But what's really going on there? How does that one line change the whole definition of wealth?
Well, it cuts right through that idea we all grew up with, that wealth comes mainly from your salary, trading time for cash.
Mm-hmm.
The book says, no, it's about owning things, creating income that comes in, whether you're actively working or not. And that brings us straight to assets versus liabilities.
Okay, the core concept.
The core concept. And it seems basic, right? Asset puts money in your pocket, liability takes it out. But it's amazing how often we get that wrong or just don't learn it in school.
Yeah, it's not usually in the curriculum.
Not at all. The book's point is that real financial education isn't about, say, complex formulas. It's about understanding how money flows, like a river, Are you just watching it go by?
Or you building something.
Exactly. Building something to channel it, to make it work for you, bringing more money in instead of just letting things drain it away.
That's a great way to think about it, the flow. And it's wild how that simple idea sparks real changes. We heard from people who, after reading it, started seriously looking into things like rental properties.
Right. Practical steps.
Or starting a small side business. I even heard from someone who had that moment realizing their car wasn't an investment like they thought.
But yeah, the car example. Classic.
And they actually started, properly tracking where their money was going. We've probably all been there, thinking something's an asset when it's not.
Absolutely.
It really pushes back against just like buying a house, paying the mortgage or EMIs, putting money in fixed deposits and thinking, that's it, I'm set.
Precisely. And those kinds of wake-up calls show why the book is so good at reframing things. Now, some people do say, and it's a fair point, that Rich Dad, Poor Dad is more about the mindset, the philosophy, than a detailed how-to guide. It doesn't spell out exactly how to buy that first rental property, for instance.
True. Doesn't give you a checklist.
Is that a weakness, though? Or is that mindset shift actually the most important part?
That's a really good question. Because, yeah, it doesn't give you the step-by-step. But that big shift in how you think, that feels like the real value. It's almost more powerful because it properly makes you, see things differently. It lights a fire. It makes you want to go find out the how.
Exactly. It doesn't just give you the fish. It makes you hungry enough to learn how to fish. And that's why it connects with so many people, I think.
Yeah.
It really is a book for, well, any teenager starting out, any adult feeling a bit stuck with their finances, really anyone who wants a fresh perspective on money.
Definitely recommended. So as we wrap up, here's something maybe to chew on. What if this kind of financial thinking, really understanding assets, liabilities, making money work for you, what if that was just standard in school, like really early on?
Interesting.
Maybe even, dare I say it, seen as important as, trigonometry.
Huh.
Imagine that.
What kind of difference could that make? Not just for us individually, but maybe for society overall. Just a thought to leave you with.